So guys, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel, and as you can see today, we've got a Swordsoul deck profile for you. Despite the fact that my Swordsoul deck profiles don't really get many views, but I'm assuming that's because this deck literally hasn't probably not changed since it was released. What cards get? Like the hand traps change, I guess, but nothing else really changes. But let's just get into it. This is what I've been playing recently because branded is just not. I'm just not feeling it at the moment. So yeah. So of course we play the 3 Moyi. Normal summon, reveal a worm in your hand or a Swordsoul card, get a token. Then obviously when it's synchro summoned, you get to draw a card. We're obviously playing 3 Long Yuan. Discard a worm or a Swordsoul card from hand to graveyard, summon this, summon a token, and then when it goes to the graveyard, you can burn your opponent for 1,200 life points. Play 2 Tire. Again, you can, when it's normal summoned, you can banish a card, banish a worm or Swordsoul card from grave, and then summon a token. And then when it goes to graveyard, you get to Foolish Burial either a worm or a Swordsoul card. I'm actually only playing 2 Ecclesia. I was playing 3, but I just seemed to open it too much. Like I'd opened a lot of multiples, and although this card is good for like going second and stuff, you just don't want to draw it in multiples. You'd rather have like 2 Swordsouls or 2 Swordsoul cards. So I just went for the 2, and the 2 felt fine for me, felt perfect. So yeah, quite happy with that. But this one, quick effect, you contribute and then summon another Swordsoul. And then on to the Tenyis, we're obviously maxing out on a Shuna. Shuna's probably the best one. Yeah, it's a good extender, so you summon it. When it's in the grave, you can banish it to summon another Tenyi from the deck. We've got 2 Vishuddha. Again, when this card's in the grave and you control a face-up non-effect monster, then you can banish it, target a card on your opponent's field, and then bounce that to hand. 2 Adhara. Adhara again. Obviously, they all get the same effect where they get to special summon. Adhara is when you control a no effect monster, you can banish this, and then you can add back a worm, a banished worm, to your hand. Shatana's in here because I play Circle. Circle I think is really good because there's things like Book of Moon, Imperm back in the game. I think that Circle is really, really good. So obviously tribute in like your Tire so you can still get your token and summon Shatana. I think it's just really, really good for the deck. And yeah. Onto the spells. We are playing 3 Swordsoul Emergence. This is basically just Rota for Swordsoul. If you control a synchro, then you can add a worm. That does come up sometimes, so just think about that. It's good for like adding follow-up in my opinion. And I was playing the one Sacred Summit. This came up quite a few times actually. For example, I opened Summit, Tire and Long Yuan. I Long Yuan, pitch Tire, summon, make Baron. Then I used Summit to bring back the Tire effect to banish the Long Yuan, get the token, and then make Shishao, and then Shishao added me, can't remember, I think it just added me Blackout, but you could obviously add Moyi then and make a 3rd synchro, but yeah. Like I said before, we played 2 Heavenly Dragon Circle. I think this card is really, really good. Tribute a worm monster, add a worm monster. So this dodges like helps you dodge things like Imperm and all stuff like that. Yeah, it's also good against Token Collector, which for some reason someone had Token Collector against me, random while they're playing that. But yeah, there's those. Obviously, 2 Desires is such a good card. Then I was playing 1 Thrust and 1 Talents. So obviously if you go in second, Thrust can get you into like Desires, it can get you into Emergence, into Summit, which is obviously very good. Going first, you can set like an Imperm off it. It obviously can get you into Talents as well. Talents is really good to have. Like I mostly always use the look at your opponent's hand, to be fair. So yeah, I think that's very good. Then onto like our defensive cards. Play 2 Book of Moon, 3 Ash, just because it's just hella good against branded. It's the reason why I'm not playing branded at the moment, just because you just hard lose to this fucking card. I played 2 Ghost Ogre. Like, this actually was pretty good. I did make a mistake against Kashtira because this has to go to grave, and I wanted to wait for their Rise Heart. So I couldn't use Ghost Ogre on their mandatory effect, so kind of stupid from me there. I should have just done it on their Fenrir or something, because I already booked their Unicorn. So I should have just done it on that, then they wouldn't have been able to make a 7, because they obviously summoned Ogre as well. But yeah, you live and you learn. 3 Imperms. Yeah, Imperm I think is probably one of the best hand traps at the moment. I think this and Ash probably always need to be in something. The last 2, I actually played 2 Blackout. Blackout I think is... I like to play 2. I could see why you cut 1. If I know I'm gonna go second, I always side out 1, maybe both. But going first, I do like to have them, because sometimes in the combo, it's good to banish 1. Or if you banish 1 from Desires, then I like to have a backup 1. I just prefer that, personally. Okay, going into the extra deck, we've got 2 Shishao. You have to play 2. It is annoying that cashes around, because I do actually play a lot of one-offs, but realistically they're just going to try and snipe your Baron straight away, so it doesn't particularly matter. 1 Cheng Ying. I actually never made Cheng Ying. I never needed to, because I made this a lot. This is so good, lets you draw a card, then you can just keep banishing and burning. And like, I burnt someone for game, it was so good. Then we've got 1 Yazi, and I only play 1 Baxia. I never needed to make 2. I get if you go first and you make you do the Chaofeng play, you don't have another one. But if you're smart, you can like banish this with Tyre or with Chichao, and then add it back with Adara, so you can get access to it again. But yeah, I never needed to. And then speaking of, there's the Chaofeng. Really good. I made this against Dinos. It was pretty good. So yeah, I was quite happy with that. Baron again. Baron is very, very good. We all know what it does. 1 Draco Berserker. I think I made it once. I don't think this is as good now that we don't have Tier proper running around. I think this is only really proper good for, say, if you have to go through the Shaman play. And then the last 2 synchros I play 1 Drageye, and I actually play 1 Ice Jade. So Ice Jade is really good, because this actually stops you from getting even lead. I realised it partway through. Unfortunately, I was worm locked, so I couldn't make it. But yeah, this actually stops you from getting even lead, which I thought was pretty good. And that's just spell negate. And then 3 Monk and 1 Shaman. So you have to play 3 Monk. 3 Monk comes up so much, like way more than you would think. And then Shaman actually put in so much work for me over the last week at locals. Yeah, she was just hella good. Yeah. And that is the deck, guys. I will show you just real quick a little bit of goo that someone else was playing in Swordsoul, and I decided to do it. So 3 Harpies Featherstorm and a Cyber Slash. So Cyber Slash is actually a bounce. So obviously you have to draw this, it doesn't add it. So if you open this in your hand, then you make Cyber Slash, and then keep this in your hand. Opponent tries to play, you Harpies Featherstorm them, and then you bounce a card they have or something like that. So really, really good. I actually really enjoyed it. There was actually a play that I did that someone, so I had Slash and I had, I think, Long Yuan or Cheng Ying or Baron or something like that. I had those 2 on the field with Harpies Featherstorm. They said stand by main phase, went to battle. In the battle, I used Harpies Featherstorm on so that they can't activate any monster effects. Then I bounced my Slash, and then I just had Baron. So now they're evenly matched, does nothing. So they wasted their main phase, they wasted their battle phase, and then I clearly won that game. So Yeah, very, very good. This card was like so funny. It's just like a funny little bit of tech or goo or whatever you want to call it. But yeah. So yeah, guys, that's the deck profile. Again, I know Swordsoul doesn't really change, and I'll probably get about 90. I'm gonna say 96 views on this. 96 views on this deck profile. But yeah, the deck is really fun. It just needs a lot of out of archetype interruptions because Chichao Baron just is not good enough, especially if you not have a blackout. That is just not good enough, and it takes too many cards to make that. Anyways, if you think Long Yuan needs to discard a card, Moyu needs to reveal one, so it's like a 3 cards in your 5 card hand to set up Chichao Baron. Yeah, Chichao might add you blackout, or it might have to add you Long Yuan. So you might have an extra card, but you need to have like, it's just not enough. I had against someone Chichao Baron, Long Yuan, I think it was, or Chichao Baron and another 8, I think it was Berserker or something, with Imperm and Book of Moon set. Lost against Cash, just lost because it's just not enough. It's just like this deck just doesn't put up enough. I don't know how people top with it. Fair play to them. I don't know. They're clearly much better players than me. I don't know how they top of it, but it is a fun deck to play, and yeah, hopefully it gets some better support soon. Maybe in the new set that's coming out, there'll be some cool stuff. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.